Qafila was bought by Angus Gold at the Magic Millions sale. She cost $450,000. She was a beautiful filly, always had length and scope. She was quite feminine as a young horse.
She was sold by a Tonga, and in one word, her athleticism. The minute she came out, I thought she moved beautifully, absolutely like a panther, and true as they come.
Not a single down filly at a Ziggy Bay. Maybe the best mover on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Such an elegant walk out of a Taffet mare. Started away, she's quality from nose to toes.
For me, she was the standout athlete probably that I saw at that sale. I was very, very keen to buy her.
Hey, all done. Emma's up. Last caller. Anybody else? For $450. Mr. Gold, congratulations.
The reports from Lindsay Park were always very positive, full stop, on every horse, as you can imagine. They always liked her.
From the moment that we started breaking her in, she was very sensible and forward. And at that point, we were quite confident that we had an early 2-year-old on our hands. We decided to run her first up at Caulfield in the Debutante Stakes, which is in October. It's over 1,000 metres. Damien Oliver rode her. She was beaten for speed early, but she quickly joined in and won quite comfortably.
100 metres to go, punched out hands and heels. Sacred Sword, Qafila's diving late, putting in the big ones. Qafila.
It's a great time when they can overcome when things go wrong. It is, especially a 2-year-old like that first start. You don't often see them get back in the ruck in these early 2-year-old races and run on. So I think she showed she's a filly with a bit of quality.
She did get to the Blue Diamond. She got to the Golden Slipper, but at that point, she was looking more like a possible 1,000 guineas filly, and we then concentrated on her as a 3-year-old.
They've got the News Girl with 150 metres to go. Here come the swoopers. Qafila, Suba and Angelic Ruler. Qafila's the one. Qafila over the top.
And the winning trainer is David Hayes.
It was a bit of a surprise for Mark to be so far back, but he went to plan B and joined in like a good horse.
When I next saw her, I couldn't believe how much she lengthened, and she suddenly looked more a staying filly, and that's, as it turned out, was exactly what she was. So I think the fact that she'd shown speed early just meant she had a bit of class, you know, all the way through, even as an immature filly.
Yeah, well, she never carried a lot of body condition. She was naturally quite fit and very clean-winded. We decided to concentrate on her for Adelaide.
She was set for the Oaks, and she was very unlucky in the Oaks.
And it was one of those races that were cringing going to the line. She just wasn't able to build her momentum. But in saying that, that quiet run is probably what won her the Derby.
The Derby was a week later. She ate all the feed. And out of frustration, we said, let's have a go at the Derby. She's in Adelaide.
And I sort of thought he needed to put more water in his whiskey. I thought he'd hit it too hard, but he was proved spot on, and she was incredibly impressive. She got a very good ride on the day and was very, very impressive.
Him as they turn in the TAB South Australian Derby, and it's the lone filly first into the home straight. The bird's flown, and the bird is Qafila. The filly's going to win the Derby. Qafila first. Second goes to Savvy Oak, Mr. Quickie third.
Lindsay Park have won this race with a filly in the past. They did it with Mapperley Heights in 1984, and they do it again with Qafila. An outstanding winner.
Outstanding, and what a good training performance as well. We talked about the spring. She went off an 8-day break into the Wakefield. She backed up 5 days later into the Oaks, ran well in both. So they've obviously identified that she goes well on the back up. They do that here. They get the ultimate prize.
She was very sound, you can see by her race record, and she basically did well wherever she was.
In the end, I think, you know, that we were all fooled a bit by the fact that she showed a bit of precocity, a bit of speed, but actually ended up a staying filly.
A bit like Miss Finland, she won her first start, the debutante, which is hard to do in October of a 2-year-old year. Then went on to win the South Australian Derby. So beat the boys in the Derby and beat the boys in the debutante. So a very, very good filly.
Oh, look, she's a lovely big mare, Qafila. Obviously, being a Group 1 winner, she's going to be one of our stars. But typical of what Angus buys. You know, they're very, very good to follow. She's got lovely hip and good strong hind leg and nice and correct.
You know, I love the fact that she did show that speed, that she was a Group 1 winner. She carried it the full trip, a mile and a half, and yet she had class. You know, I think she'll make a wonderful mare for somebody.